Hello, dear student. This is Amir Khan, your social studies teacher. Today, our topic is in this video, we'll study about different topics of international problem. So, first, over here, we find over here of Kashmir conflict and what would be the cause of the Kashmir conflict, then the cause of the Iran-Iraq war. Iran-Iraq war in 1980 to 88 of 8 years of that. What was the causes and what was the cause of the Gulf War and what was the cause of Iraq war in 2003. So first we will come on the cause of then what was the cause and the conflict of Kashmir. Actually, Kashmir is occupied with three different parts. If you look over here, Aksai Chin is part of China, and one part is of India, and then one part on the northwestern side is of Pakistan, including Gilgit-Baltistan is also part of that. The third part is of Gilgit-Baltistan, which occupied by Pakistan. So these three parts we have here with three countries. Conflict start over here with Ladakh. It's here in Ladakh. You can look here that Ladakh, and because of their conflict between India and Pakistan, then India and Pakistan at Kargil areas, and then Gilgit-Baltistan and the Baltistan side. So these were the three countries were dominance over here. If we come on the history about the partition, and if you look on the history till to 19th century, Muslim kingdoms has ruled over here, and there was first time in 19th century it was first time that the Afghanians come over here. Then in 1847 the Hindu kingdom of Dogra come over here, and he do his rule on these areas. So what happening over here, that was a conflict in after 1940 till 1947. They were given option to the Kashmiris, the prince of the Kashmirs, to join Pakistan or India, or if you want to independent, then there should be. But the Maharaja of the Kashmir, whose name was Sir Hari Singh, he chose for the independent. But the tribe from the Pashtun were not, because of that Dogra. The Hari Singh was a Hindu, but majority of 70 to 75% was of Muslim in Kashmir. So they were not accepting that idea of Maharaja of that Kashmir. So what happening, once that the Pashtun tribemen want to swipe or attacked on him, but that's why they by Hari with the panic he signed to join Pakistan. So this was the conflict start from here. But because of the people of the Kashmir want to join to Pakistan because they were the Muslims, but the Hari Singh, who was of a Hindu, he was telling that the Kashmir is part for, by the panic of the Pashtun who tribe, they by the panic he signed on that it must be with Kashmir. So these were the problem conflict start from here. Majority of the people are saying that it is of Pakistan, but the sign of that Hari Singh was saying that it is a part of Kashmir. So these were the problems over here. Raja Hari Singh took decision to remain independent on advice of Shawani Sandhyo. That after that is of 1947 that make problems from here. So that's why the conflict start with between Pakistan and India. So in 1925 Hari Singh ascended throne of Kashmir. So these were the history which we, in short, I tell you all that in the previous slide, was the main reason of the Kashmir conflict was that. So it was not only that till to 1962, then in 1965, then 1999. These wars were begun over here. Like in 1962, Chinese troop invaded northeastern Indian occupied Kashmir. There was another war with them. Then in 1965, a fight broke out between India and Pakistan. Then in 1965, it was of in September 1965. Then it's in 1999, the Pakistani troop in Kashmir fight entered into control of the territory of Kargil. So these wars were in 2001. So these were the situation that in 1962 this was of the Chinese occupied to war with India. Then over here you can see over here the Kargil war. So these were making very difficult for them. That was of 4 part for the peoples of Kashmir. So then we come to Iran-Iraq war. What was the reason of Iran-Iraq war? It was over here it was the longest war in Asia. Was from 1980 to 1988. Over here you can look in the brown one. Actually the occupied of conquered by Iraq from 82, then conquered of 85 to 88 was of Iran. So it was conflict start from here, but at the end what happening, they come on the compromise, and this war were the longest ever in the time. So these imposed by different that two countries were war with hundreds of people were died over here from both side, Iran and Iraq. Then we come to that Iran-Iraq war was it here. We find over here it was in Shatul Arab river. It was in Shatul Arab. It was started from there. Then we come to what was the cause of the Gulf War, when it was started. It's also called the Desert Storm, or that in USA lead force name code of Operational Desert Storm. So this was also called a Desert Storm War, which was in Saddam Hussein, who was the president of that Iraq. He wanted to occupy it Iraq. So this was the cause of in Kuwait, because there was the place where the kingdom, that oil rich country Kuwait, so he want to occupy it on that region. So this was also the cause of war in Kuwait as well. So what happening over here, then the first that the USA imposed over here, is start the operation in Iraq to tell Saddam to just left that place and go, but he refused that one. So that's why that conflict start war over here. And around, because of that war, was 1 lakh people were died in Iraq. So this was then the Saddam Hussein start a chemical war with them. They used in different part with chemical war. So